it's time for some demolding or unmolding. I still don't know the proper grammar on what that should be. So the last couple days I've worked on some new fire element pyramids, and since I always make a little extra, I dabbled with just filling in some little spheres. Show you the original that I made. I added way too much gold up here, but I loved how my fiery flames came out in this one. But then what I messed up was trying to put, like brimstone lava rock type effect on the bottom, forgetting that then no light would get through. But I learned that I did love this fiery layer. So that's the original. So, of course, I'm going to do what everybody does and save these until the end. So this is what I did with some extra resin. This was simply the black alcohol ink with a little bit of the silver. And I tried to get very little ink because I didn't want it super dark black. I did want there to be some translucency in it, and it looks like I succeeded because I can see light through. This one, yeah, same. Nice sparkle effect though. Very cool. Now these two I poured clear, and then I forgot about them, and I went and I added a drop of black ink on top. This one I let the black ink just sit, and on this one I did try to give it a little swirl. So we'll see if that literally did anything. And nope, not really, just a clear sphere with a black bottom. So there's that. Now this one, like I said, I did poke it in there, but it had mostly cured by the time I did. So if you look in it, you can see that it's just not perfectly solid. There's just a little bit of scrape going on where I poked it with the wooden tool. So those are not particularly interesting. These two, I tried to make flames in spheres, or at least flame sort of effects. So this one has the gold powder with some yellow, and it does have a nice spiral there. The red layer is very thin, and then I did, and actually that red I think is tangerine. The tangerine comes out like a blood orange color. So there's some red, and then I added extra red there, and I can't remember if I added any black to this. If I did, it was a very small amount. So it is cool looking as far as little tiny bubbles go. Okay, so this one is very different. This one we've got our first little like baby flame. Look at that. It's so cute. It's a very small flame, and this is still a little soft because it hasn't been quite 24 hours yet. So it's pretty adorable. I don't know if this will focus. Probably not, because it's just that way. But there's a cute little tiny flame in there. All right, so now we get on to the big guys here. Oops. Come back here. Oops. All right. Now there's really no difference other than this is this is more, I don't know, I think this is more pyramid shaped as far as when you think of like Egyptian pyramids. But this has 3 sides, this has 4 sides. So since I made up enough resin, I did both. And I did spray them with mold release, but I feel a little iffy about trying to push from the point because I don't want to smush the point if there's any chance that that's not cured. Oh, wow, my glass of water almost went flying. Let's move that. So this, here we go. It started with the yellow, just like this, the yellow with a tiny, tiny bit of gold, like barely any gold. And then the tangerine, and then the red, and then these little ashes I tried to make at the bottom so that it wouldn't cover the whole thing. That's the black and the silver. And I just barely put any on, and then, you know, squiggled it around. So this, I think, looks fantastic. I'll show you better pictures, obviously. But it looks really great. Very happy with that. Although, I mean, because there are layers, you can see that there's that there's a separation of here's black and then a line and then the flame. So one of the reasons for that is because I was thinking of putting little tiny twigs underneath here to make it look more like a campfire, and that's when I changed my mind and went with just this black fake ashy kind of style. Okay, so I think it's really cute. I like it so much better than my original one. I've had a couple disasters, and I love when YouTubers actually show or explain and admit that they've had disasters. I mean, this one might still be a little too soft because especially like those resin printing people, it's such an expensive thing to do, and you think it's just so easy, and you just whip out those models and stuff, and it's just they go through a lot of messing up. And resin is probably, this kind of resin, epoxy resin, is probably no different. Yeah, so I've had ones that didn't cure at all. I've had the last pyramid I tried had so many bubbles and the tip never cured. I think like a glob of the mold release maybe was at the bottom, and so when I popped it out, it wasn't actually resin, it was a mold release. Come on, you. I've never had this much trouble. This is weird. So this is weird. When I do use mold release, it's harder. Oh my goodness. Let's try putting a little water. Well, seems she doesn't want to pop it. Come on, you can do it. Wow, my goodness. Ah, there we go. I mean, it comes out of the mold super clean, so I don't know what the issue was there. This one's also really nice. You can see that it does kind of look like fire. And down here, there are some little splotches still of yellow and red. And what happened there was when I had the first main layer, this bulk of it curing, and it got kind of sloppy, you know, around the sides where some resin was. I decided instead of taking that off to leave it there. That way it would look more integrated. And it's pretty cool because it does look much more integrated instead of a harsh line across. And you can see the black swirl underneath. And this one, since there was not as much room, there wasn't very much real estate there, it was just kind of a swirl, as opposed to this one, where this one I made 2 lines going across, and then I took the stick and went like that and like that. So there we go, some new fire pieces.